Everyone evacuated is allowed back home tonight after a grass fire started near Lewisville this afternoon. We're watching for more fire danger tomorrow. Thanks for being here. I'm Kyle Clark.
I'm Kim Christensen. No buildings burned. No one was hurt in today's fire. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch is in Lewisville with more on what happened. Janelle.
Firefighters are watching. If you can see right now, just wind picking up. They say that plus dry conditions presented major concerns earlier today. Firefighters believe that farming equipment may have started this fire. They say with such strong winds, flames quickly took off, burning 35 acres and a haystack. Lewisville Fire Protection District says they responded to a fire at 3 p.m. burning in county open space. They say 6 agencies helped to knock down flames. The department says where the fire was burning played a major part in getting it contained quickly. Lewisville Fire says the fire started in a cornfield where firefighters had full access around flames. Lafayette Fire Chief took the command. He says crews worked hard to keep the fire from jumping major roads.
We understood that this to be a pretty significant event. And had we not been able to keep it, south of Dillon and west of Highway 287, we'd be having a different conversation. But holding it at that point was significant.
The Boulder County Sheriff's Office says the area where this fire started is under level 1 fire restrictions. The National Weather Service also issued a fire weather watch beginning tomorrow for Boulder, Jefferson, and Broomfield counties. That's going to last through Thursday due to high winds, again, just like we're seeing kicking up here tonight. Live in Lewisville, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
Those winds are so scary, Kathy, when they pick up, and knowing that we haven't even seen a drop of rain in forever.
And when you look at the video footage from Janelle's shot where she's standing, it looks like there's no fuel there. It just looks like brown dirt, but there is so much tender, dry grass and shrubs and bushes around the area. There is a lot of fuel, and when you have this temperature trend above average and the winds 30 and 40 miles per hour, humidity levels low, we'll be having these same concerns in those same areas again tomorrow. Temperatures today above average in the low 60s. They've cooled back somewhat, and while the winds have calmed in Denver, in the foothills, they're picking up, and over some of the higher passes, we're seeing gusts over 40 miles per hour. Janelle mentioned the fire weather watch for Boulder County, Jefferson County, Broomfield County tomorrow due to the warmth, the wind, the lack of moisture for that area. The dwindling storm that's moving through, producing that wind, has produced snow in the mountains. It's coming to an end. Additional light accumulation in maybe in the 1 to 2 inch range, but a little bit of blowing snow has created issues for travelers. So a winter weather advisory remains in effect till 5 a.m. for Rabbit Ears Pass and for Steamboat Springs. A calmer night in Denver, relatively mild. Temperatures in the 40s until sunrise. Coming up, we have a second storm we're tracking for the second half of the week. Colder air and a chance for rain and snow right here in Denver. We'll have the details on that in just a bit.
We now know the name of the hiker who was killed in a mountain lion attack in northern Colorado. The Larimer County Coroner's Office says she was 46-year-old Kristen Kovac.
So CPW workers tracked and then killed 2 mountain lions that were found near her body in the Crozier Mountain Trail. Today they announced they're no longer looking for a third cat. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj is along now to explain. Shalima?
Good evening. Mountain lion attacks on humans are very rare in Colorado. Less than 30 have been reported to CPW since 1990. The last deadly attack was in 1999.
Really, before I even had a chance to know what it was, all of a sudden it just came at me full-fledged.
Gary Messina was out for a morning run in early November when he had a close encounter with a mountain lion.
I was able to reach behind my back and break off this cricket bat-sized stick, essentially. And I pretty much just took a whack at it and it hit it right across the head.
His is one of several documented cases of mountain lion activity in the Glen Haven area in recent months.
We ask the same for people who report any sort of bear or moose sightings. We just want to know because we don't live everywhere. We don't have eyes everywhere.
Last week, a woman was killed in a mountain lion attack while out hiking on the Crozier Mountain Trail near Glen Haven. The coroner's office released her name on Monday, identifying her as 46-year-old Kristen Kovac from Fort Collins.
One lion was found at the attack site and was shot and ran off. It was later euthanized by CPW officers on the ground.
A female lion was found nearby and also euthanized.
These lions are about 12 months old. They're learning to hunt. They're learning, what search image developing a search image for prey.
Necropsies were done on the animals. No human DNA was found on the female lion, but it was found on all 4 paws of the male lion.
We were pretty sure that cat was involved because of the fidelity to that scene.
A search for a 3rd lion was put in motion, but 3 days later, CPW says they've stopped looking.
Right now, we can't identify that animal particularly, so we don't know.
Now, we're still working to learn more about Kristen. We do know she worked at UC Health Clinic in Fort Collins for about 10 years. They told us that they were saddened to learn of her death. Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
The Denver Fire Department says they'll provide updates tomorrow on a massive fire at an apartment complex under construction in southeast Denver. They've scheduled a press conference at 1 in the afternoon. This 5-alarm fire broke out Friday night at the Harker Heights complex on Leedsdale Drive, essentially burning an entire city block. Tonight, firefighters are still dousing hot spots. Investigators will not be able to enter the building until all of the fire is out and the structure's been deemed safe, and then they'll work to determine both where and how that fire started. Pat Andler, a nationally recognized fire investigator, says that could take some time.
In our investigation of cases this size, it might take several weeks to at least get to the area of origin, because you've got to remove that debris field first. And sometimes these debris fields can be as big as a football field.
The Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms will help Denver Fire with that investigation. The ATF will be using an accelerant detection dog to look for signs that gasoline or something else fed that fire. That dog won't be able to get to work until the scene is rendered safe. 8 members of Denver City Council are ripping the decision makers at the city's Department of Transportation for scaling back on a traffic plan on Alameda.
So the change happened after a member of a wealthy, well-connected family led opposition to the project. 9 News reporter Spencer Soyster joins us. And Spencer, members of City Council want the mayor and his team to go back to the original street safety plan.
Yeah, they do. And the letter points out that after 5 years of work and community input, the city finalized a plan to eliminate a lane on each side of Alameda and add a turn lane along with lowering the speed limit. Then Denver's richest family hired a lobbyist, and it became a partial lane reduction. Driving down Alameda requires focus. The street is part of Denver's high injury network, streets with the most deadly and serious crashes. But at least one neighbor wants you to look away from the road to see this sign.
It really blows my mind.
Denver City Councilwoman Flor Alvidrez agrees with that banner. She's one of 8 city council members who signed a letter sent to Mayor Mike Johnston this past week, calling out the city's decision to back off a finalized road safety project on Alameda after a member of Denver's richest family hired a lobbyist to fight it.
Yes, hiring a lobbyist is going to help your case.
The Anschutz family didn't want traffic to back up by their nearby home and delivered signatures to stop a project with 5 years of public input and planning.
And I think about what happens if someone gets hit or hurt crossing Alameda after we change the plan. That blood is on our hands.
Mayor Mike Johnston says the power of Denver's richest family had no influence on the project.
No, zero. I think that allegation is offensive and totally false. We don't ever make decisions on public safety around politics or whatever supporter wants it or doesn't want it.
That is gaslighting, and it's offensive to the residents in West Wash Park that have been working so hard to make this happen.
Councilmember Sarah Parody signed the letter too.
Let me put it this way, nothing else changed. And so unfortunately, I think we kind of have to draw that conclusion.
In a response to the letter, the city maintained its position that the new plan is equally as safe as the previous one.
I think they found a good compromise.
But CU Denver civil engineering professor Wes Marshall called the city's safety analysis, quote, back of the envelope.
It's hard to imagine it being as safe as the other one, for sure.
Certainly haven't seen anything so far that persuades me that the second plan is as safe or safer.
The head of Denver's Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, Amy Ford, says it was ultimately her call to go with eliminating just one lane. She maintains the change was made because of strong public input from people worried about traffic on side streets and congestion, and not just because of a lobbyist hired by an Anschutz. Spencer Soyster, 9 News.